my friends, it's a true honor to be here with you tonight. And that honor is doubled by having Vice President Biden and Secretary Kerry here with us. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. To Mort Halperin and the J Street Board of Directors, thank you for having me. And congratulations to Ambassadors Kaplan, Solomon, and Sussman on this honor. I'm inspired by your commitment to the State of Israel, to its security, and to our shared principles of justice, peace, and solidarity. Thank you. Friends, I know you all join me here in concern for the victims of today's bus explosion in Jerusalem, and that you, as I, send your prayers and wishes for their speedy recovery. We are full of gratitude to our soldiers and police officers that risk their own lives every day to allow us to live ours safely. My grandfather, Yitzhak, was born in Tel Aviv in the 1930s. He was 14 when he quit school and joined the Palmach, the pre-state army, together with many other young people, to build us a state. He died when I was only 9 years old, but one of the most memorable moments of my childhood was when he took our family to a reunion of the Palmach. Saba Yitzhak held my hand and brought me to meet his legendary commander, Yitzhak Rabin. Then our admired Prime Minister. Rabin sat there in the sun, his face shiny red, and patiently asked each one of us children what we dreamed of being when we grew up. I was 8 at the time and still struggling to decide between becoming a writer or an astronaut. Thinking about it today, I wish I had used that rare chance to ask the two Yitzhaks how they made it all happen. How they made the dream of millions of people, of thousands of years, come to life. How they build the miracle that is Israel. I didn't know then how crucial that question would still be today. Because today, 68 years after its establishment, our beloved Israel is at a crossroads. Yes, we stand on firm legs that will never be uprooted. We have strong arms to defend ourselves. We have rich and fertile minds, as is evident in Israel's many contributions to the world. But we still lack one critical component. We have not yet decided what kind of nation we want to be. A society that strives for greatness, or a society that sanctifies force. One that prides itself on being a moral beacon, or one that forgets its own compassion. One that enacts the principles of our Declaration of Independence and offers complete equality of rights to all its inhabitants, irrespective of religion, race, or sex. Or one that forgets the very own vision of its founders. Our grandparents refused to embrace a narrative of victimhood. They took their destiny in their hands, and with great courage, against all the odds, they built us a wonderful state. But this project is unfinished. And I dare say, every day without action puts this project, our future, at greater risk. Friends, our struggle today is between those who believe in progress and the future, to those who cling to the status quo and the past. I'm 30 years old. My generation has already suffered 2 intifadas, now a third. Our bodies and souls are scarred by the suicide bombings of our youth. We lost brothers and sisters and dear friends in the wars of recent years. And these past 6 months, we've confronted a new kind of Palestinian terror, which has already taken the lives of dozens and injured hundreds of Israelis. This, my friends, is the status quo. A status quo of two peoples bleeding into each other, developing ever more hatred, growing ever more extreme. A status quo of an Israel increasingly distant from our international allies. A status quo of an Israel losing itself, losing hope. My friends, the people of Israel deserve more than this status quo. It's not only missiles and knives killing us, it's inertia, passivity in the face of great challenges. I often speak to young settlers and people on the right. I ask them, what are the solutions? Where do you see us in 10, 20, 50 years' time? The answer? We're always going to live in a perpetual battle. This is our destiny. Well, the people of Israel deserve more than this. While today's right-wing leadership offers no vision, we offer a solution. It's not simple, and it may not be perfect, but it's the only solution with promise for our future. We must present the Israeli public with a clear-cut choice, either annexation of the territories with the millions of Palestinians who live there, and the end of Israel as a Jewish and democratic state, or a two-state solution, one that bears risks, but risks that are nonetheless outweighed by the danger of inaction. We can make it happen. Only 4.5 years ago, the progressive camp was completely dormant. Rhetoric that delegitimized progressives and extremist legislation attempts dominated discourse. But it was from that atmosphere of despair that the biggest social protest in the history of Israel arose, bringing hundreds of thousands to the streets to demand social justice. Only a year later, as I sat on the Finance Committee of the Knesset, along with a team of volunteers, we exposed the secret state budget that used public funds as a tool for political horse trading and corruption. We fought that system because every Israeli deserves an equal share. Today, the Knesset is one of the first parliaments in the world to have a transparency committee, which I have the honor of chairing. My friends, in the exact same way we revolutionized Israel's economic and transparency challenges, it is now time to revolutionize the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Polls show that even today, after nearly a decade of devastating inaction, the majority of Israelis support a two-state solution. Nearly 100% of Israel's security and military elite are steadfast supporters of that solution, too. They all know that it is much more secure for us to be able to defend ourselves from a defined border. Even the Israeli right agrees that we need to separate from the West Bank to achieve more security. You know how I can tell? Because they have been in government for most of the past 20 years, and they have never and will never annex the settlements. They have a majority to do that, a majority in Knesset, but they know that this would be the end of the Zionist project. And although the majority of Israelis support a two-state solution, most don't think we have a partner in the Palestinians. People are afraid of what the day after a peace agreement might look like. They're afraid of the West Bank becoming another terror haven and of rockets falling on Ben Gurion Airport. While the fate of Israel lies in our own hands, the United States can help advance peace by guaranteeing Israel's security and by translating this commitment into pragmatic safeguards. We must make Israel's future secure, and we must do it today. And when I say today, I mean it. This is an urgent matter. With every passing day, with every soul who begins to despair, with every stabbed body, the ability to reach a just solution is diminished. We have no time to lose. We need everyone with us. Every former IDF commander, every thinker, every spiritual leader, every activist. We need them, and we need you with us now. My friends, everywhere in the world, we see politicians who capitalize on fear. Politicians who try to tell us that dreaming is childish. And of course they would prefer that we don't dream, because the only thing they can offer us, today's reality of corruption, greed, and endless cycles of wars, is the dream of no one. Fear is understandable. We're living in a dangerous world. But fear is not a political strategy. And fear, more than anything, was never the essence of Zionism. Zionism is about making the impossible happen. Those who really move the world are those who dare to dream. I'm a proud Zionist because I'm proud to follow a tradition of leaders who dare to dream and then found the most pragmatic ways of making our dreams come true. The only way to fight politics of fear is with the bold politics of hope. It is also the most Israeli way of doing that. Our national anthem is titled Hatikva, the hope. Hope can move mountains. It can win wars. Hope is the single best engine for making a better world. Zionism was born of hope. Hope is Zionism. And our hope is for a real security. Our hope is for every Israeli to have the same opportunity, no matter where or to whom they were born. Our hope is for an Israel where Jewish traditions flourish, constantly evolving, open to all streams of Judaism, allowing each one of us to marry, to love, to live according to our own beliefs. Our hope is for every Arab Israeli child to feel fully Israeli, the way a Jewish Israeli child would. Our hope is for an Israel that forever retains its special, non-partisan relationship with the United States. Our hope is for an Israel that is based on solidarity, where we really fight for each other, not only in war, but in our day-to-day lives. The generation that established Israel understood not only power, but the necessity of hope. Since our current leaders do not provide it, we must offer that hope, and we must display the courage to turn that hope for peace into reality. The Israeli author Yoram Kaniuk was the first person who tried to convince me to get into politics during the social protest movement of 2011. Kaniuk was born just down the street from Saba Yitzhak in the very same year. In his famous book, 1948, he wrote about the War of Independence in which he served. He wrote, "It's a mistake to think that we fought to build a new state. What did we know about building a new state? Like anyone has ever done something like this before. We fought because we were destined to perform miracles. My friends, we too are destined to perform miracles." Together, we will. Thank you.